Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Overnight the Cydeer Café. I am joined here by a friend of mine called Blue, or better known as blueplayz. We met through TikTok, a fellow content creator on there. They make some pretty cool videos, some funny content, some kind of gaming stuff as well. It's quite nice to see a lot of their stuff. So I'm going to let them quickly introduce themselves, tell you all about themselves, and kind of give a quick rundown of what they're all about. Go ahead.
My name is blueplayz. I'm the half corrupted elf on Twitch and TikTok, and I'm excited to be here. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, so like a lot of the time when I do these, a lot of the VTubers, and I actually do have some webcam streamers who come on, don't like that's usually like their first time to do. I find it quite interesting about like how we talk about stuff, what we talk about, that kind of vibe. It's always a bit nice. So yeah, we're going to quickly talk about like content creation for like on your side of things, like why you became a streamer, why you became a VTuber specifically as part of the content creation, and just kind of get a good all-round vibe. Yeah, so how comes you became a streamer? Like what made you want to join the world of content creation on a live / also offline format?
Honestly, I originally didn't want to stream at first for content creating. I actually started off making videos on YouTube, and they're still up to this day. I never got rid of them. I just kept them there for memories. And then eventually I got over to Twitch because I wanted to watch my favorite streamers. And someone convinced me to actually start streaming.
Well, that's pretty cool. So did you want to start out as a VTuber, or were you contemplating doing like webcam streaming? Like what was the kind of route to where you are currently?
Actually, it wasn't going to be either. I didn't want to do either of them at first.
Oh, okay. So you just kind of wanted to do like let's play videos just where you talk and no face or anything.
Yeah, and maybe in the future, like if I'm brave enough, I'll do face cam. But things changed, and honestly, I think it was the right call.
That's pretty cool. So it was the same for me. So like I used to be a webcam streamer, but the issue is because I'm at university and have been since I started streaming, most of my life is in that webcam frame. Like if you look behind on the webcam, it was like you could see my bed, you could see all my clothes, you could see all of my belongings, basically my entire little world here at university. And I was just like, I kind of don't want people delving that far into like what I have, because then I just get judged and everything. But also I thought with VTubing, it's different than normal. And I just thought it was pretty interesting to do, kind of. So I was a bit interested in that. But yeah, I mean, you use a 3D model. You're the first, I think, no, you're the second 3D model we've had on stream. So how comes you decided with the 3D versus kind of like live 2D? Was it a price thing, or was it more of like you liked the 3D vibe over the 2D vibe?
Originally, I was going to start off with like a 2D or a PNG, but I saw the option for like 3D models. Back then, and even now, I was always interested in like, like VR chat and all that.
Yeah.
And I always like the models that they have. So when I found out you could actually make your own model, and a friend of mine actually taught me how to make mine. So this is my 2.0 one. So
oh, that's pretty cool.
This wasn't even the first.
It's quite ironic you mentioned VR chat, because my current studies is a master's in virtual reality. Like, so I make VR games as well as like VR applications for like education or industrial applications. But it's pretty cool because like I know how much work goes into these models. I don't know if you made it on Vroid or Blender, but like these models are really hard to make, even if they are Vroid or Blender, because you kind of got to have a 3D awareness around things. Like you need to make sure, like when you're doing like texture atlases and stuff, you've got to be. It's a hell of a lot harder to do a texture atlas for a 3D model than it is for a 2D model, in my opinion, because everything's kind of got to fit on a 3D scale versus a flat scale, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It definitely is a bit more harder to work with a 3D model because all the detailing that goes into this and all the hard work that can go into it. Like for this model, I didn't make this model. I made my original one. So like the half corruption and everything was something I'm like, I wanted to make it more like in theme with the lore that I had going on.
Okay.
And so we turned it into kind of like almost like vines a little bit.
Yeah, so a bit like kind of like a poison ivy kind of vibe.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty cool, because I originally was a 3D VTuber, because like I just kind of like I still have that model. I'm currently trying to get it reskinned so it looks like this model, so I can like have both, so I don't have to get a whole new model. But yeah, I just kind of like the vibe with it because you can do a lot more, but also, yeah, you can put them in VR chat. Like my 3D model, I could use in VR chat. Like I've done streams in VR chat that is my own custom model, which I was quite happy with. It was quite interesting. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, well, so yeah, we met on TikTok, I believe, right? But we have some mutual friends between each other, which is quite ironic. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I was surprised when I saw that when I first messaged you today. I was kind of curious though. So like on TikTok, roughly, like the thing is, one thing I've noticed about VTubers on TikTok, it's kind of one or two types of content. It's either just game clips or like making like cutesy content. So like what would you say your vibe of content on TikTok is for like your short form content?
A mix of both, because we do like for my TikToks, it's like a mix of like different things. Like you do have some cutesy ones, you have some jump scares and everything. Yeah. So it's kind of a mix, a bundle of mess, which I like it. I really do like it. That.
That's fair enough, because like I do the same. I do like a mix of like these podcast clips. I take like little clips from them, and I also do I also do like the cutesy ones where I take like sounds or trends that are happening and use them. I do a bit of both. But what would you say you've noticed about like TikTok that you don't see on like other platforms? So it's like for me, I notice VTubers, at least on TikTok, like they either get like gain traction really quick, like their first 2 or 3 videos will be like 10,000 views, 1 million views, all this type of stuff, and they gain traction real quick. But others kind of get stuck in, like, it's where I am. I kind of get stuck in like the 200 to 400 view vibe. Like, why do you think that is? Just out of curiosity, because I don't have many people on who actually use TikTok or YouTube Shorts for their content.
Honestly, I think it's based on the algorithm and what you're doing. Like sometimes a lot of people won't get noticed as easily. A lot of them won't be on people's For You page or anything of that sort. So I feel like it's almost the same as YouTube. At least in my opinion, it's just almost the same as YouTube Shorts. It feels like it runs with the algorithm.
Yeah, and the algorithm's so hard to kind of keep up the grips with. Like sometimes I don't know what if the content I'm making is in line with like the algorithm like at all. Because I'm sitting there going, I made a video today about that with the current trending song with like, you know, all about bread, and I posted it. It just did awful. It finished at around 270 views with like maybe 10 likes, whereas I added like a video last week which was just kind of really random that got like 500 views and like nearly 60 likes. I was like, it's so weird, like hit or miss with like who on like which For You page it goes on, because obviously everyone's got like personalized ones. Sometimes I feel like I miss the mark and don't hit the right For You page, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I definitely, there are some TikToks that I have posted where they don't do that really well. There was one that I posted, it was called The Glow Bean. Literally just me walking, like there's nothing going on. I'm literally playing Minecraft, was walking, I turn around and it was a mod I was playing on, and it blew up a little bit. And it's just like, why does this, like in span of a day, I almost had like over 600 views on that.
Yeah, it's weird. And it's like almost like the videos that like take no effort and you just kind of post because you're like, here's a filler thing. I can't think of anything like to properly post, like to curate. And they tend to do a bit better than the ones that you think, oh yeah, I've spent a lot of time in making this. Because like I almost feel like sometimes I don't want to spend like half an hour editing a video to like put on there, because like it won't do well. Yet if I do like a quick 10-second clip of something, it does really well. It's kind of got a really weird dynamic, and I don't know why. I suppose that's me.
Yeah, no, I don't know why either. I wish I can give a proper answer to why it's not like with certain content creators and just others. But at the end of the day, we don't really know what's going on with TikTok.
Exactly. You need almost like a PhD in TikTok just to be able to understand how it works.
Yes.
Sometimes. I mean, I feel bad for the Americans with it potentially getting banned soon. So, I mean, you know, there is that as well. Yeah, thankfully we don't have to deal with that, just because England's big GDPR and online safety laws are very strict, and like TikTok just can't do what they can do in America, if that makes sense. Like you can't access data here unless you're like really, really trying to. At least from personal experience, there is that. But Yeah, TikTok's just one of those weird things. So like, you know what I found though? Like between TikToks and YouTube Shorts, like some of my videos get like 20k views. For something that would get like 200 on TikTok. And I don't know why though. I feel like the views on YouTube mean less than the views on TikTok, if that makes sense.
Right. I think YouTube is a thing that's kind of dying down, but not at the same time. It's like fluctuating, basically. It's like there, but not there.
What do you mean?
So you know how like, let's say games, like there's one game that's like it was really up there. It was up the top, like Minecraft. It has its ups and down moments where the community like dies down and then gets back up again.
Yeah.
It feels like that way with YouTube Shorts. Like it's there, like it calms down at one point, and then another time it's up there.
Oh, okay. So what do you mean, like as in YouTube as like a whole thing, or just like YouTube Shorts specifically?
I feel like YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I can see that because the thing is, I feel like YouTube's not going anywhere, but I do feel like it has its ups and downs when it comes to their short form content.
Yeah.
Because I mean, remember, I think it was 2 years ago when like YouTube Live was meant to be like the next big thing. They were working on so many different things, trying to get it going and all this, and then nothing seems to have gone there.
Yeah.
Like they were meant to put like new chat, like community points and all this, a bit like Twitch. It was meant to look a bit like Twitch, really, like a bit of a rip off of Twitch, but not. And yet, nothing's been done. I don't know if it's me, but I feel like they've kind of left the YouTube Live on the back burner from what they were trying to do, you know?
They did. They really did. Like they made these promises for all like different content creators who are live on YouTube to make it better for them, but there's nothing being approved or any of the promises they made. Yeah.
It's just a bit frustrating though, isn't it? When you feel like you're putting so much effort into your content creation, but it's like no kind of feedback a lot of the time when it comes to like the efforts the companies are trying to do. Like I'm not trying to say efforts for the community, but I mean like the YouTube was meant to be like, we're going to put so much effort into live and all this, and then here we are 2 years later and nothing seems to have even gotten close to what they said they were doing. And I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you have to pick one though, if say you were starting streaming for the first time again and doing content, where would you stream? Would you do it on TikTok? Not TikTok, so would you do it on Twitch, YouTube, Kick? Like, where would you start streaming now if you have to restart?
If I had to restart, I would probably start off on YouTube to see how that will go, because I feel like YouTube's that basic one that everybody knows and it can be trusted and all that. And then maybe along the line, if it's not going so great, maybe switch it up a bit.
Yeah.
But
I've known. Have you tried Kick yet?
No.
Okay,
I have an account, but I don't.
I've tried. It's awful. Honestly, the amount of time, like, I never get more like hate messages and stuff than if it's Kick. It's always Kick. And the thing is, without sounding stupid, all of the hate messages are the same bullshit. Like, they aren't even smart. Like, I'll get one dude, I'll be like, oh, just like, oh, thank you for joining, and then he'll be like, oh, go kill yourself, something like this. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? And then I'm like, but then it's always the same messages, and then I just kind of, it doesn't even bother us anymore. I'm like, this is just kind of like semantic shit, really. So I don't recommend Kick only because they don't really have a lot of moderation, at least yet.
Right. It's when it first came out, it was in beta form.
Yeah, but now it's been like over a year, so like nothing's happening at all, apparently.
It feels like it was created, but then just never gotten worked on.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon because obviously the people who own Kick are like Stake, which is just a gambling company, and that's the biggest thing on there is just gambling streams. And I'm like, I feel like they aren't pushing as much of the other stuff because they just want the gambling to be big, you know?
Right.
It is what it is. I multi-stream now. I stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So I do that because they changed the TOS on Twitch to allow you to do that. So I think that's a good thing because they're not trying to say YouTube is better than Twitch or Twitch is better than YouTube. It just means that you can kind of get all of your content out there because no one's leaving Twitch. And just because you're streaming on YouTube at the same time doesn't mean one's better than the other. It just means you're getting your content out there to a wider range of audiences than just a singular, you know?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. But yeah, we wanted to jump on to, what was it? We were talking about games, wasn't it? We were going to talk about different games we kind of like. We were talking, what was it? It was Overwatch 2 we were talking about, wasn't it? Just beforehand.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I have to ask a question since we're on about Overwatch. Who do you main? Who's your main on Overwatch?
I main Diva. I am a Diva tank, but
Nice.
I can switch around to other tanks when it's really necessary.
Fair enough. I normally run, if I have one for each because I'm quite like a good all-rounder. I normally run Brigitte or Brigitte, depending on how you pronounce it, on healers because I like being up close. Because do damage to heal, I'm like, bro, that's amazing. Yeah, well, let me just be an aggressive healer for a change.
Right.
If it's damage, I always run Bastion. Like I just can't. It has to be Bastion. Like I am OG Bastion. I've been playing Bastion since Overwatch 1. I can't get around it. I just love playing Bastion personally.
It's fun. It's honestly funny because I never played Overwatch 1. I started
really?
in Overwatch 2. Yeah. So
Oh,
I think back then I didn't think I would like it, but once Overwatch 2 came and I got convinced by friends to join them, I'm like, I low-key like this.
no,
I
let's
want to
see.
play more.
I was part of the problem that caused Overwatch to completely change their game system. So you know how it's now like, you pick your classes and all that type of stuff, and you play and all that. It was a bit of a. I can't remember exactly how it was because it's been so long, but the original setup for like how you play a game was like you could just be whoever. I'm pretty sure it was.
Mhm.
But when Brigitte came out, she was a tank slash healer slash DPS. Like she was just the goat.
Mhm.
And I used to be part of that problem. I used to just play Brigitte, and yeah, they changed the entirety of how the game worked, which is why it's now you have 2 healers, 2 damage, and 1 tank.
Right.
But before Brigitte, it was just like free for all. But like she's literally the only reason we have that current class system is because of her. And I was like, I'm so proud to be part of that problem.
Right.
But yeah,
But
but
honestly, I actually like the class systems and how they worked everything out. It
yeah.
feels more natural like that.
No, that to be fair, that fully makes sense. To be fair, I quite like for tank. I play Marissa. I'm a Larissa main because I don't know. I just find it funny being able to like speed them off an edge of a map or something. It's quite funny.
It is really funny.
Because I'll just wait around the corner and be like, "Oh, you're coming here? No, you're not. You." But yeah, it is what it is. So I don't know. Like, how long you been playing Overwatch for? Like, it's what
I
since
think,
like.
oh my goodness, almost. I think I'm I'm more than likely a little bit over a year, but it doesn't feel like it.
Fair. It feels like ages for me because like I remember playing the like I know we're not going to get onto it, but like I remember playing the beta for Rainbow Six Siege, and that was 2014, so that's over a decade now.
Oh
I
my god.
I'm like, I remember that shit like it was yesterday, and then you've got all these different people being like, oh yeah, Rainbow Six Siege is amazing now. I'm like, no, you guys missed the heyday, like the golden era of like actual tactical shooters. Now it's just like Rainbow Six Siege feels more like Overwatch than it does Rainbow Six Siege now. Weirdly enough, everything's abilities versus actual tactical gameplay. It's like Valorant. Valorant is just Overwatch but one shot kills. That's all it is.
Right.
But
It's also with Valorant, between Valorant and like Overwatch, I feel like with movements, you're kind of have to be like a little bit slower at it.
yeah, you do because you kind of do have to be kind of careful with where you go. I'm not gonna lie, I do prefer Valorant over CS:GO, and I'll probably get a lot of hate for that in the comments, but yeah, that is very much how I feel about the situation. But I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, what have you been streaming recently, like games wise? Are you kind of enthralled in any games right now? Any new things?
Recently, I have been getting into like Coral Island and all that.
I've never heard of that. What do you do in that?
So if you think of like, Coach, do you know Stardew Valley by any chance?
Yes, I've played Stardew Valley. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically almost like that, but they give you more options in like relationship wise as well as more things going on.
Yeah.
So it's a farming game, but with other things going on, magical creatures and
Oh,
more.
okay. So Stardew Valley, but with a bit more wonder.
Right.
Okay. So wait, would you say it's like a mix of Stardew Valley and oh, what's the Switch game that's like farming and shit? What's the
Oh,
Switch game?
Animal Crossing?
That's it. Is it like a mix between Animal Crossing and Stardew or no?
It's kind of like that. It's a little bit like it.
Oh, okay. I don't have a good reference point for games like that because I've only ever played Stardew, so that's fair. I mean, currently, I'm looking forward to Manor Lords coming out. I really can't wait for like, because my favorite type of game is like RTS style games. So like, Manor Lords is kind of like a medieval town simulator. Like you have to do politics, crops, like the social hierarchy stuff, and build the actual village to a city, build defenses, walls, palisades, barricades, everything like that.
I don't know why when you mentioned all that, my brain just went to like, oh, I'm thinking of Sims now. Like, why am I thinking of this?
It's like intense Sims basically, because once you've built everything, you then have to defend your little village and town from like other villages and towns. Build like you have to like let your villagers have kids and then like let them grow up, but then you have to build an army using your villagers. But like if you lose one dude, that is genuinely like a family down a person. So you have to be really careful with what you do. And I can't wait. It comes out at the end of April, so I'm a bit excited for it.
Ooh.
We will see what happens, but it is what it is. But yeah, is there anything else you'd like to talk about before we quickly end the podcast there? But like, anything you want to quickly mention? Any topics you feel really passionate about that we could have a quick talk about?
Honestly, I don't know if you want to answer this, but what is your like? Are you the type of person like? Are you like the type of streamer that like? There's new games out, would you like go ahead and get it and play it, or do you kind of wait a little bit till things die down?
It depends. So like Helldivers, I got day one. I'm currently an official content creator for Outpost Infinity Siege. So I got that day one because I got the key through the company. But it really depends on the game. If it's like a shooter type thing or something like I'm really hyped for, then yeah, I'll get it day one. But if it's something I want to play but I'm like skeptical because either it's a new developer or it's like I don't know, like there's been a few things I felt like slightly off about, like the trailers or something, then I'll be like, oh, I'll wait a week or two, see where it's at, and then if it's worth getting I'll get, but then if it's not worth getting I'll wait another month, and then again if it's not worth getting then I just won't. But again, it's very dependent on the specific game, but more often than not it's I'll wait a week, see how I feel, and then get it type deal. What about yourself?
Honestly, I agree with like the different developers. I do have special developers in my heart that I can trust when it comes to games, but I still, even with those trusts, I still kind of wait till like a little bit dies down and then kind of see how things go from there.
Oh, that's fair.
And if I really want to play it, then I'll go ahead and play it.
No, fair. Is there any games that you can think of off the top of your head?
I think one of them is Chapter 3 of Poppy Playtime.
Fair enough. So you trust that developer because of like what they make and stuff, I assume then.
Mm-hmm. And the chapter for it, like I've seen little bits of it, but it looks amazing. It's definitely longer than Chapter 1 and 2, so...
Well, there you go. I mean, I'm the same with anything by Respawn. I'm quite happy to like be like, yeah, straight up get that, because Respawn will just have a good track record, whereas EA doesn't. As well as Deep Silver, who make the Metro series. Straight up, we'll take that. But yeah, thank you for being on the show. I really appreciate it. We've had some cool conversations about content creation, TikTok versus YouTube, YouTube versus Twitch, but also just like a nice little like back and forth on like what games we enjoy and why we enjoy them kind of thing. So I really appreciate you being on the Open Night Cydeer Cafe. If you had to give the guys watching one last piece of advice about streaming or content creation, what's that bit of advice?
My little piece of advice is don't give up on what you truly believe in. Like, if you enjoy content creating, keep going for it. Like, just don't let anybody tell you otherwise, because honestly, I had people in my life, even family, saying, you should just stop, just keep it as a hobby or something. Like, no, I feel like this is just something I was meant to do. And I'm here now. Like, it's amazing. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's no bother. So that was it. You heard it here, guys. If you follow your dreams, make sure you kind of keep going no matter what other people say. You got to trust in what you believe in. But yeah, thank you guys for watching Open at Cydeer Cafe. Thank you for Blue for being on the show. I really appreciate it. Now remember, if you're watching me during the day and it's not the weekend, you should be at work. Stop watching YouTubers during the day. If it's not, thank you for watching and peace out, boys. Thank you very much. See you next time.